Hello everybody, I'm in my backyard just chilling before it gets totally dark. Got a little while. Kind of was working hard today and spending a little time with my babies. Cooked some cabbage greens, said greens, cornbread, mashed potatoes, some country fried steak, and some meatloaf. I did a lot of cooking today. I am not going to do that every day. But anyway, I did that today. Trying to show my daughters how to cook so they can get ready. Because I always say you don't have to learn how to cook for a man. You got to learn how to cook because you need to eat. So I want them to know how to cook. So, I'm getting ready to do my review. You know, we just had the latest episode where everybody had to make their choice. Up to the last, we're at the last 4 couples. And you know, when we were watching last week, I was wondering how are they going to get rid of Kyra and AJ? Because we know, you know, well, how the rest of them going to leave? They've all kind of been like solid, like Renisha and Joelle. They've been solid. Amber and KG, they've been solid. Now that I'm not saying KJ anymore. Well, that's one of my inherited granddaughters named KJ, so that's probably why I was saying that. All the same, I'm out here in the backyard. If you saw one of my other videos where my baby came the other night where I was late doing a video and she said something was in the backyard, well, I'm in that backyard now. And I'm just gonna say there's a, what is it? What is Chippendale? Chipmunks, yeah. From Disney, you know, Chippendale. They're chipmunks. We got a chipmunk that likes to run across here and hang out. And I saw a squirrel. I'm telling you, it was so fat, looked like he's been lifting weights. You know, I mean, I was like, so I'm going to do this video and then I'm going to let them get back into their home because they get to enjoy this deck more than I. And I can't even sit on the furniture, which I would have. But if you know, it's been raining. It's been raining hard, and tornadoes and all kinds of stuff happening. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama, so we've been having all kinds of stuff going on. And so we've been having the furniture covered up most of the time. I'm just not covering it up now. I asked my husband, should I cover it up? He said, if you want to. It's supposed to rain every day. It's coming from Texas, so I'm in Alabama. So the wind and rain is blowing y'all gossip from this show over here. So let me tell y'all what I've been hearing. So we know that the object of the this episode was for them to meet the family. Now, we know chances are in 2 months, I don't know, would I be going to meet the family? I guess so, because I wouldn't have met my husband's family because, well, I mean, we had met, we knew each other though. We weren't like friends or anything, but we worked together and we'd see each other around and chit-chat a little bit. So anyway, so I guess that's the exception, is that we kind of knew each other. So when we started dating, which was in February of the year we started dating in 2020, and then we, so I met his family in March, and that's because my birthday was in March. He wanted to take me on a trip, and I was like, you ain't gonna go take me somewhere and kill me. I need to meet your folks so we can see there's some investment in this deal. So anyway, well, like I always tell you, if you like watching my other videos, I tell you a little bit about my perspective in life, which makes me make the decisions on what I have to say about the show. Okay, so we know on the show, in the end, I don't have to act like it's a surprise. Kyra chose Kyra. But guess what, Kyra? AJ chose AJ. So y'all good. Alright, so, and the thing is that we already knew that it was kind of sketchy that if they would end up together or not. Now, we know he could have chosen Alexis. But I say I agree with AJ. I would have chosen, if I was in a situation like this, I would have chosen Kyra too. Because if there's a chance that perhaps fate had brought us back together to get a chance to be together, I would rather take that chance and not get with somebody else who fate could have brought them together too. But I would have taken that chance just because of the fact that we had met before and things didn't go well. Because sometimes I've liked people who I didn't like, and then later, after spending more time with them, we find out, I may have liked them okay. Like if I had a bad day with somebody, I would give them another chance just on the basis of that could have been just a coincidence. But Kyra still didn't choose to be with him, and AJ seemed to be fine when he was playing his music. Like I said, AJ, I already said in all my videos, y'all ain't gotta worry about dating AJ, marrying AJ. AJ is not the one woman's mankind. So she did all right in making her choice. She was saying she was trying to go through the process, and I was like, I kept saying, Kyra, you better go make your choice. This is not the Bachelorette. You can't go through the process. You're at the end. You're at the end. You're at the end. You can't choose Joel. You can't choose KJ. You only have Jason and what's his name? And I don't blame Jason. If you're not gonna go in and choose me, I'm gonna go with a safe bet. I already commented in another video about me and my husband. We were both dating other people, and then we ended up getting together when those didn't work out. And hey, sometimes that's the way it goes. And here we go, almost married. Well, married 19 years next month on the 27th of July. So sometimes that's the way it goes. It's not right for everybody, but I mean, I dated the guy that fate brought us back together, so I thought, can you hit me over somebody's air conditioning? I didn't think about that. I knew I should have got my earplugs. But and I got back with this guy that I thought I loved to death in middle school, and I tell you, he probably was the worst guy I ever dated in my entire life. I don't even want to talk about it. That's how bad it was. I dated him right before I met my husband. And in fact, one day when he came over, my husband was here. He didn't call ahead, and he had been talking some BS. And please, he was talking about how he was dating somebody else. Okay, does it sound like I'm in the jungle? Y'all should see behind me all these trees. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all like this here. Look at all those trees. So if it sounds like I'm in the jungle, it's because I almost am. You know, my baby said she heard something at the back. It wasn't like a bear or anything, but it's a lot of trees. I don't know if I showed the best view. Anyway, I'll do a video on the other side so y'all can see on a different day. So anyway, I'll make sure I'm in the video. So yeah, sometimes though, when you meet a person and it's just not meant to be, hopefully they can be friends, you know, hopefully it won't be that bad of a situation, but you know, they can let the sleeping dog lie on that. But this is what I wanted to say. Okay, did y'all hear how AJ mama basically told Kyra to leave him alone? Okay, she asked Kyra the question about, is she just a new project for AJ, because he always trying new things. And I understand AJ, I'm that type of person too. I got 50 million hobbies down in my basement, and I'm trying to do them all. So I know I switched up music. I'm sometimes playing my piano in there, sometimes I'm crocheting, sometimes I'm drawing, sometimes I'm doing calligraphy. So I understand projects and stuff, but sometimes when a person has projects like that, they can pick something in life that they don't change up all the time. Like, I didn't change up my husband after I got him because I have a lot of other projects and stuff to do. But when she said that, I said, Kyra's answering this question, or maybe it was edited that way, but she's answering the question. I was like, that's not a question she can answer. That's a question that AJ has to answer, is whether or not she's a project. But I felt that his mom was saying to her, baby, don't stick with him. I want some grandbabies. He's 38. But don't you waste your time dealing with him and his crap, because he is not going to stick with you or anybody else for a long time. And I think, like when AJ was saying that his mom and Kyra are alike, they probably like every other woman. They don't want to put up with his BS. The thing, though, I think is and that his mom probably knows, is that him being 38 and not having any children, which that was the most unique thing in the show. They had at least about 4 guys, maybe 5 guys, that didn't have any children. AJ didn't have any. Chris didn't have any. Jason, Ron said he didn't. He said he didn't have any. As far as I know, he didn't have any. That's odd with the 10-to-10 ratio that they had, that they did not have any children. If they have some, they didn't say. And that usually doesn't happen. So hey, Kyra, there's a hope, like you were saying, that you didn't want to get with a guy who has grandchildren and children. And I have grandchildren now because my husband, I inherited his children, and now they have grands, and they almost to age our children. But I just thought it fascinating that basically Kyra, AJ's mom told Kyra, I'm using notes today because I want to make sure I say everything. that AJ's mom told Kyra not to date him and basically not to waste her time. Did you all get that? That's what I got from their conversation. Because that question was not a question that Kyra can answer as to whether or not she's just going to be a project that's going to be temporarily in his life. And like I said, the way I see it, AJ realizes that he's like his dad, and instead of having children and putting them in this world and maybe leaving or losing interest or whatever happens with the mom or the child, he's just choosing to wait. And that's smart. Wait until you're ready. A lot of times people around here having children too soon, and I say that as a woman, like, I didn't have my first until I was 35. So Kyra, don't let anybody put pressure on you about that. And I had my second and last at 40. And I didn't have any issues, even though I was older. You know, they do all the tests and checks and stuff, and I didn't have any problem with my grandmother. I can't remember how old she was when she stopped, but she was older when she stopped. Now, mind you, she had 15 children, my mom being the first. So she started at 18 and she ended at whatever age that my youngest auntie, who is 46 years old, you know, you can calculate, because I'm not going to do that today. So, oh, I forgot my book. Because I wanted to tell you, Kyra, that, you know, when you were saying that you trying to get used to dealing with your finances and all that stuff. Girl, I did too. I have a book, and it's on Amazon, by Catherine Craig. If you can't remember that, it's called From Middle Class to Middle Millionaire. You Can Do It. And it's green with some leaves on it, you know, representing dollars, trees, you know how people say money don't grow on trees, that kind of concept. So anyway, check it out, girl. I already worked out all the details. Not only you, if you're somebody else and you've been the fashionista, I have been that. I have been the designer wearing queen, worked at DKNY Donna Karen, the company, not like selling clothes, but where they design them, where she was working when she used to work there before she stole the company. I used to work there I worked back there when the last husband was alive, and a whole lot of folks that, you know, gone on to glory were there. Was riding on the elevator with the husband and all that kind of stuff. The man that designed the perfumes and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm that girl. I've done all that and spent the money and all that kind of stuff, and I still do some, but I'm just saying, I've worked it out where now I'm saving as much money as I spend. So, Catherine Craig, because my site here is called, in case you didn't know, because, you know, I know stuff that I can tell you and help you out with. So, the other thing I noticed is, and I think we all noticed this, is that Kyra was making sure that he knew that if her mom didn't agree for them to be together, that they weren't going to make it. Guess what? When he met her mom, seemed like her mama's panties dropped. Did y'all see that? Mama was like, if you don't want it, I'll take you. You know, like that little lady that was in Coming to America when Murphy got off the train, the subway, and he gave the lady the jury, and she said, if she don't want you, I'll have you. It's kind of like that's what his mama was like. Look, don't have him. But mama knows, Kyra, that all men are what y'all call them now? F boys. See, I'm old. All of them are F boys. All of them. From number 1 that got there on the show to number 10. The good ones, the bad ones, the nice ones, the not so nice ones. All of them the same. So she's like, hey, he's tall, dark, and handsome. Just have you a few babies. You'll be all right when y'all divorce. Because you're going to divorce if you get with AJ. Not just you, Kyra. Anybody? I hear y'all saying he look good. Yes, he does. All of them look good. But if any of you marry him, just go in knowing that he's going to cheat. And go in knowing either you're going to divorce him or you're going to stay with him and go through it. Do you want your children to stay with their dad or not? Because, yeah, he's going to do that. So, what else I wanted to say to Kyra about her choosing Kyra? You done chose yourself, so don't play with these guys trying to do all this extra talking after the show. You know, make the ratings go up and do all that. But after it's over, the game is over, you're grown, do grown folks things. You'll get a lot of guys asking you to go out with them. This show is really an advertisement for people. Ladies don't always take advantage of it as much as guys do. Go and get you another crew of guys and date. and see which one you like. Because chances are, like I've always heard people say, it takes about 2 or 3 of them to get who you want. And that's probably what guys say about us. It takes about 2 or 3. Yeah, if it looks like my glasses are weird, let me tell you. This is why. These are the bunny eyes, and they do this. And you can flex them down, like if I want to just use my readers and then look up at y'all, I can do that. I can do them like, how's that thing? I can hold them like this. And, you know, they do all kinds of little tricks. Like if you're getting your hair done and you need to use one side, you can do like this or do like that. So they're little gymnastic glasses. They're called bunny eyes. So that's why sometimes they might look a little crooked, just because of the little flex that's going on. Okay, so yeah, you know, you'll get plenty of guys. But now you do have to look at the biology of it. You are getting older, and you know how people are gonna say your clock is ticking. My younger sister, this is what she says, because she hadn't had children. She said all clocks tick. It ain't just mine. Every clock ticks. She don't let people put pressure on her by having a baby, but it's something that we have to consider as women. That's the thing, the advantage that guys have, and this is what I got in my notes. In case you didn't know, this is what my site said. In case you didn't know, now I'm getting ready to educate you. If you need a piece of paper and pen, hey, you want these notes? I can send them to you. I just put a few, just to keep me in focus. Okay, so in case you didn't know, men don't really grow up, they grow older. They don't have to really grow up, because they don't have to change their name, they don't have to have a baby or carry the baby. You know, the part they do is nice and easy for them. So they don't really have to grow up, they don't have to make any adjustments. We do. They don't grow up, they just grow older. So they're not in a rush to get married, because they don't have to. They don't have to worry about morals. If you don't care about the morals of it, they don't care about the morals of it. You know, because biologically, they're able to have children until they die. Now, that doesn't mean all their organs going to function like they should efficiently. But, or as they say, that older men are the reason that children are autistic. I don't know. I'm not the one. I told you all, I'm a back pocket psychiatrist. I'm a back pocket psychologist, a back pocket lawyer. Sometimes I'm even a back pocket doctor. You know, I play one on YouTube. But I'm just saying, that's what I've heard it said. A nurse told me that, in fact. And she says she has an autistic child and her husband's older. But that's not always true. Like, I have an aunt that's the same age as I am. And, because, you know, I told you I got 146. She has Down syndrome. But she has 2 sisters younger than her. They don't have any problems. I mean, a little crazy, but we all got a little bit of that. Okay, so some other notes I wanted to write to Kyra is that, you know, there are some things you know you're going to have to consider as to whether you want to date an educated man or a man without a degree. And I don't know if it bothers you if you do or don't, but there's plenty of men who don't have a degree who worked hard and they can make money if that's one of your concerns. I like something I saw Amber say when she was interviewing on Little Black Book. She was like, that's not something she looks at. She really looks at the person. She doesn't look at equally yoked as being money. Because, you know, it's just true. After a certain point of making money, you know, what difference does it make if you are working together? The only concern that I have about a man making money is, you know how you talk about the issue like with Naya, and which I agree with everything Naya. I am team Naya all the way. I believe a man should pay the bills, but if you're a lawyer and he's not, you can be a plumber. People say, he'll be a plumber. Plumbers make good money. Don't you bypass the HVAC guys? They make good money. Postmen make good money. I'm going to tell you, because when I worked there too, I've done taxes, so I know what lawyers make. Some lawyers. And some don't make as much as people that work at the post office. Because in the post office, depending on where you work, you really can almost make your own salary. I told you my husband is a mailman. I'm not still just stuck on Chris, you know. Even though, hey, where is he? I haven't seen any interviews. He said he had done rehab for drinking. Yeah, I had that champagne at that mixer. Somebody go check on him. Please, Kyra. You said you knew him as a friend. Go check on him. Make sure he's okay. Bring him to that reunion. I want to see him. Okay? So, what I'm going to say is, you can find some good guys who don't have a degree, a college degree, and if it's a good man, you know, don't count him out. I did black, white, but that's almost any race. Things that I consider. And I look at it and I was like, well, you might not need to do this, Cat, but yes, you do. And then what I'm going to say is, a white man, I expect a certain caliber, because they feel they've been running this. As I saw one T-shirt that a white man had on, we've been running this since 1776. If you've been running this since 1776, you're not going to be washing a car unless you're getting paid a whole lot of money to wash a car and be with me. You ain't going to be washing just at the Chevy dealership like one of my friends who's white, who's dating a white guy, is doing. Nope. We're not doing that. Okay. Now, I did write some notes. Now, I'm writing a book. I haven't gotten it ready, this one. Now, I won't even tell you the name because I don't want nobody to steal the name of it, but it's a good book. But I got it in there, and I'm starting, and I'm telling you some reasons why men cheat. So I'm going to tell you some quick ones, Kyra. These aren't all necessarily in my book. Well, they are, but these aren't all of them. Okay, some men are going to be threatened by you because a lot of men, they know a lot of other men will be attracted to you. And as the guy in the 5 Heartbeats says, I have to prove my love every night. My husband pointed that out to me. I don't pay attention enough to know. But he said that, and I was like, yeah, a lot of guys, they're not going to want to. And that's what probably people will say that. I've heard some people say that that's why Jason didn't pick you. But like I said in another video, if y'all watch, Jason and AJ were friends, and they were talking about Kyra. They were comparing notes. Like they were talking about freaking frack with the ladies. No, they were some freaking and fracking. Because like I said, just pay attention. They had several dates together. Several dates. Even at the end when he was, AJ was kissing Alexis. Yeah, they was there. See, that was another date. Okay. You have to be careful with men, because some of them will try to make you less than you are because they know you're a prize. And they'll try to bring you down. They may not beat you, but they'll be saying little slick little stuff. You have to watch them. Like I said, I have got to get rid of some of them. Some of them, they're going to try to cheat on you to get back at you for making them feel inferior. They'll love you, whatever, but still cheating. But they'll do stuff. I ain't know guys do stuff like that. I tell you, I got stories. Some of the stuff, not just my stories. I'm talking about stuff that people I know, friends, and I did hair. I talked about that, like I said, this here, I've been wearing this since COVID. I don't normally have like these, and I'm at home all day, every day, so I'm not doing what Monique talking about. I'm not that girl. I'll go out and I'll wear my hair. Anyway, so they know you're smart, so they know that they can't get over on you. That won't stop them from trying. But I'm just saying, I'm letting you know. Something I realized, and this ended up being true, and I didn't even realize it was true. I write poetry, and I got a book. I took it off Amazon. No, y'all will see it there, but it's not available for sale. But it was called Secrets of My Heart. And anyway, I wrote a poem called, I don't even know if I ever titled that poem. But anyway, and that may not be in the book anyway, but you can't get it because I had to check my stuff so I wouldn't copyright it for it. And I had a line in one of my things called, it's better to have loved than lost than never to have loved at all. But it was written by Tennyson. He was one of those people over in England that wrote it back in like the 1800s, and it was out of a poem. But anyway, I wanted to make sure I credit it because I know that wasn't my original thought. So anyway, I took it off for that because I needed to research, and I did research. Lord Tennyson wrote it, and a poem that he wrote is like 10 pages long. But that's the part that everybody quotes. But anyway, my poem, a part of it had in there, it was saying something, I should have brought it up, but I didn't know I was going to talk about it. But anyway, I kept saying stuff. And in there, it came to me and it said, maybe my husband is married to someone else right now. And I said, what? And you know what? I stopped that poem at that point. I was intending to stop. But lo and behold, when I met my husband, at the time I wrote that, I think he probably was married to somebody else because his wife hadn't probably died at the time that I wrote it. And so your husband could very well be married to somebody else because, like I said, if you had gotten married younger, you probably would possibly have been divorced, or if he married younger or whatever. And I'm not saying it's Joel. Like I said, in my case, my husband, his wife passed, but they were married out. Like I said, the winds and rain been blowing stuff this way from Texas to Alabama. And so what I'm hearing is Joel saying he was a widow, but he was divorced and his wife passed. My husband was actually married and his wife passed and his children were young. I've taken up a lot of time on this one, talking about Kyra. Kyra, I think you're a beautiful girl. You know you haven't done anything wrong. You've done everything right. You played the game very well. The thing I would say to you that you didn't do was, at a certain point you were supposed to make a decision and you didn't. So you can't go backtracking and getting mad and saying Jason did anything. He handled you well when you all had that meeting, because he said he made his decision. So what is there for you all to talk about? Women, you all talk about needing closure. No, you don't. Once the relationship is over, it's over. If you didn't ask the questions before it ended and before that last conversation, consider it done, consider it dead, consider it a wash. Don't worry about trying to find out the whys. You didn't make a choice. Somewhere we all have a chance to make a choice, and when we don't make that choice, live with it. Live with it and move on to the next one. And let sleeping dogs lie. And whatever the other cliches are that says, move on with your life in a whole nother direction. Because, and I don't know if I can explain this well, but I'm going to try to, because I tried to explain this to a client I had one day, and she was crying. Oh, she was in my chair just boo-hooing about her guy. I mean, this doesn't have necessarily anything to do with it, but it does. You know, young white lady, and her guy was like an alcoholic or something. She was a gambler, something. I mean, people tell me so many things, so I might be getting across. But anyway, he had some kind of issue that needed rehab. And she was crying, and I told her, you don't realize the favor he did, because they got engaged and then he called it off. I said, you don't realize the favor he did you. She was like, he didn't do me a favor. No. When you finally find the person that you're supposed to be with, you're going to be so thankful he called it off. So what I'm saying to you is, you're going to be so thankful that, hey, you made your decision, you wanted to follow the process. Jason didn't do it like you thought he should, because you thought you were you were the bachelorette instead of on Ready to Love. Cut your losses. When you find the one that you're meant to have, you'll see why.